24 seconds. Keep it going. Hey, Noah. How are you today? Okay. 7 seconds. Almost done. Almost there. Okay. We got it. So finish your sentence, your word, okay, you already said that, so I'm going to block you for spamming. If you'd like to get unblocked, you can go to femyoga.com. Tell me what your username is when you sponsor my channel, and I will unblock you. It's like an accident, can't help but watch. Wait, why am I not seeing this Harry Beaver comments? Why can't I see any of these comments? Male egos. Oh, it's like an accident. Can't help but watch. Oh, I thought you meant me, but you're talking about violent TV? It's a crazy form of entertainment. Not good to desensitize people to the pain of others. So is that the person that you guys blocked that said something about my chest size? You're a little stressed? Oh, no. What do you need? What can we do? What can we do to de-stress you right now? Take some deep breaths. Shoulders down and back. I have to refresh my egg drop, sorry. I'm still taking deep breaths though. Sometimes I need to do like hardcore yoga, exercise, flow, push it, get my kind of, power through it. What's with the wings? Why not? You said other things. Yeah, like why can't I see them? It says that the last comment is from Harry Beaver. It won't load any more comments. I just refreshed it again. Here, let me clear out my cache. Hola, Arnaldo. Wait, I saw that comment. Oh, so I missed a bunch of comments. Yeah, the last comment from you is, that's weird, Shiny. It doesn't usually do that. Huh, I wonder why it's doing that. Yeah, the last comment was call a place that does business printing first. That's sad, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm going to read mine, and I'm sorry that I missed that. What is it about... Hola, Brazil! What is it about television violence that is so appealing? That's a great question. I'm one of those people that loves a good CSI show, or something like Dexter. I love crime shows in general, and they almost always involve violence. How can I vote for violent entertainment while preaching and practicing the non-aggression principle? Maybe I need to D2, and I was talking to Tracy about this earlier, which is normally diffu, meaning detached from your family of origin, but in this case it's from your television of origin. And then I wrote, but I have different tastes than my mom. She likes HD TV and reality TV. I hate most of that. Adrenaline but safety appeals to basic instincts and escapes from daily life. Violence is more compelling if there's a story of suspense. That's so true. That's a really good point. And then I said, oops, got distracted by saying hi to Noah, LOL, ah. And that was it. So that's it. And if anyone else wants to share what they wrote, feel free. I'm going to switch over to reading the book now, unless anyone has any questions, anything that you guys want to talk about. Hey, Sage. Yo, what's up? Did you see my logo? Alright, I'm going to show my logo one more time, guys. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed with it. I've showed it like 4 times on Scope today. The book is called Saving Capitalism by Robert Reich. It was recommended by Jerkface, which means I'm probably going to disagree with every single thing the guy says, but Jerkface is one of our sponsors, so I'm checking it out. I'm from upstate New York. Where are you from, Egg? So here's the beginning of it. These are yoga blocks. F-E-M. This is just the first part of it. Oh, thank you. Do you want trivia night, Noah? Egg is a slur. You're from Ohio. Ohio's for lovers. Oh, it's all done, Sage. Oh, thank you. I'm digging you being here. You don't know why you have an egg? You have to put a profile picture. Hey, thanks for inviting your followers, Yamatime. Nah, just kidding. Okay, good. No, I was like, oh, that's so much more work than reading a book. That's so cool, Taylor. Love the logo. Oh, thank you. So there's more coming. There's the other half of the O. Oh, thank you, Jen. Thanks for sharing this out. You guys are all so nice. I love y'all. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then GA. Hi, Henry. I would appreciate it if you... I appreciate the compliment, but we try to keep everything really platonic here. No physical compliments about me. You're welcome to discuss things in the chat with anyone that you like, but I'm happily married. I just try to keep that stuff to a minimum. That's amazing. Thanks, Sage. No, I did not make that. No. It was Chris. You know Superman 216? His drawing scopes? He did that for me because I gave him a legs up the wall flow for his sore and achy feet. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for all the hearts, Jen. So, Saving Capitalism. Dustin. Oh, you followed Dustin because you're from Cincinnati. Oh, cool. Yeah, Chris is cool. So, Saving Capitalism by Robert Reich. I'm pretty sure this guy worked for the Clintons. I don't know what I'm going to think about this book, but I said that I would read it, so I'm going to. Probably very fast. I'm just going to skip the introduction. A fellow Buckeye. You think he's great, Tracy? You like the Clintons, Tracy? Part 1, The Free Market. Chapter 1, The Prevailing View. And this book is called Saving Capitalism by Robert Reich. Reminds me of the Simpsons episode where it's like, must crush capitalism. No, don't crush capitalism. He does great videos. I don't know where I saw him. I've seen him speak a couple times. He's like the short, kind of heavy dude with beard, I think. Pretty sure. Let me look him up. Let me make sure I know who I'm talking about. Yeah. I've seen him. I don't really particularly care for his voice, but also I think I probably disagree with him 100% politically, but let's find out. He looks like a professor, a very, very short one, right? Okay, The Prevailing View. Oh, this seems very anecdotal. Okay. It usually occurs in a small theater or a lecture hall. Someone introduces me and then introduces a person who is there to debate me. My debate opponent and I then spend 5 or 10 minutes sparring over the chosen topic. Education, poverty, income inequality, taxes, executive pay, middle class wages, climate change, drug trafficking, whatever. It doesn't matter. Because with astounding regularity, the debate soon turns to whether the free market is better at doing something than government. I do not invite this. No, just keep in mind, this is him saying this, not me. In fact, as I've already said and will soon explain, I view it as a meaningless debate. Worse, it's a distraction from what we should be debating. Intentional or not, it deflects the public's attention from what's really at issue. So he's saying the government is not the issue, don't focus on that. Interesting. A guy who worked for the government, okay? And let's see what his job history has been, out of curiosity. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds, you know? He's 4'11". Rex. He's professor of public policy at the University of California at Berkeley. That's like the most liberal thing that you could be. Napoleon complex. You have an ant that short. That's cute. I have an ant that short too, actually. Why is he not saying anything about the male ego? We barely in there at all. Taking all debates back to that dismisses the subject. Oh, okay. But he said he views it as a meaningless debate. So he's going to explain it, so let's just let him talk for himself, right? You don't like short people? I'm a short person. Because he's a guy. Hey, Maddie, how are you? You're short. How tall are you, Jen? I'm 5'1". What? Oh, the cat. The cat's 10 inches tall. Oh, my eye is itchy. Uh-oh, it's going to turn all red now. Why am I itching it still? Sorry, guys. I have allergies. Wait, what? Wait, it was a question? Wait. Did I not answer the question? Oh, I avoided the question. I don't know how to answer that. I have nothing against short people, of course. Howdy do. All right. Few ideas have more profoundly poisoned the minds of more people than the notion of a free market existing somewhere in the universe into which government intrudes. In this view, I know, Shiny, that's why I'm reading it, because I have to present both sides, you know? It's important. This is, like, more important. I just read 5 books by Napolitano, so I think I can read 1 book by him. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Do you do broadcasts as well, dog? Thanks for the follow. It looks like you might have just started. Did you just start using Periscope? Welcome. I love it. I just did a scope earlier today about how you can use Periscope to make money if you're interested in that at all. Whoa, 2 in a row. It's a block party. Block party, block party. Brand new. Well, welcome. I absolutely love this app. Read more. I'm on the edge. Okay. Few ideas have more profoundly oh, I already read that. Sorry. In this view, whatever inequality or insecurity the market generates is assumed to be the natural and inevitable consequence of impersonal market forces. What you're paid is simply a measure of what you're worth in the market. If you aren't paid enough to live on, so be it. If others rake in billions, they must be worth it. If millions of people are unemployed, or their paychecks are shrinking, or they have to work 2 or 3 jobs and have no idea what they'll be earning next month or even next week, that's unfortunate, but it's the outcome of market forces. What? What? We all know that the #1 expense to American households is the income tax, right? So if you have to work 2 or 3 jobs because whatever percentage of your money is being taken away by income tax, which is your biggest bill every year, that is what you spend your most money on. But he's saying that, no, it's not the government, it's market forces. I'm not really...
Billionaires are getting rich from the government.
Yeah, and potentially the government is what enables billionaires to become these elitist oligarchs, you know. According to this view, whatever we might do to reduce inequality or economic insecurity, to make the economy work for most of us, what is he proposing here? Printing money, printing fake paper money, runs the risk of distorting the market and causing it to be less efficient. So he's saying government involvement is more efficient? And tell me if I'm reading something wrong, you guys, definitely. Or of producing unintended consequences that may end up harming us. Is it just me, or is he saying a lot of vague things? He's not saying any specific problems with the free market, and he hasn't actually he was very vague about this is what he wrote, whatever we might do to reduce inequality. I would like to know what he thinks is going to reduce inequality, or economic insecurity. And he said, these things, whatever we might do, is going to make the economy work for most of us. As if it's broken. Economy is broken. And the only way to fix it is through whatever we might do. Runs the risk of distorting the market and causing it to be less efficient. So he's saying that the view of capital, having a free market, is we think that it's going to distort the market and cause it to be less efficient, right? Yes. Okay, so I do agree. Yes, we do think that. Or of producing unintended consequences that may end up harming us, which he doesn't really list. Let me finish this paragraph and then I'm going to read your comments because I know you guys are commenting and I want to have this discussion. Although market imperfections such as pollution or unsafe workplaces or the need for public goods such as basic research, public goods like basic research? Wait, what? How is that a public good? What? I don't understand why people couldn't privately do basic research without the government saying, yes, you may now do research, or please do this research. I will give you money. Where do they get the money from? People who work. Like, what? How is it ever going to be more efficient to have a middleman? I've talked about this so many times. Thanks for inviting Trevor. I appreciate that. Okay, let me finish the stinking paragraph. Sorry, you guys. I knew it was going to be like this. We need BEEP, too, because BEEP is very, very adamantly socialist. Or even aid to the poor. So, again, implying that people, give it of their own free accord, would just not help the poor. We would just ignore them. We would just let them starve to death. We would be completely unsentimental. We would have no emotion. We would have no philanthropy. We would have no charitable generosity. We would just, the poor would be unhelped. Because he said we have the need for public goods, such as basic research, or even aid to the poor. So he's saying this is a need for public meaning government funded, help aid to the poor. Okay. May require the government to intervene on occasion. These instances are exceptions to the general rule that the market knows best. I can barely even get through a sentence in this book. Okay. Picking nits, yes. Did Shiny leave? I think she did. She said she's a huge liberal, of course, and then I think she left. Oh, he's not agreeing that money is the most important. Where did he say that? Doesn't take into account circumstances. Big or small family, stay-at-home mom or dad, so on and so forth. What doesn't take that into account, AQB? Picking nits? No, I'm just clarifying what he's saying. It's hard to know what is being said if you can't actually see the words on the page. Thanks for inviting followers, Trevor. I think I already said that. Are you going to pop in here? You know you're naked, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What chapter are you in?
Whoa. I'm on page 4.
Oh. I was just standing listening. I thought it was
Oh,
interesting.
okay. Cool. All right, so I don't see any other comments coming in, so I'm just going to keep reading here. The prevailing view is so dominant that it is now almost taken for granted. It is taught in almost every course on introductory economics. It has found its way into everyday public discourse. One hears it expressed by politicians on both sides of the aisle. I'm not sure what he's talking about. He's talking about free market. The question typically left to debate is how much intervention is warranted. Conservatives want a smaller government and less intervention. Liberals want a larger and more activist government. Wow, I'm glad that he's so honest about that. I find it hard to get a liberal to say that they want big government. So I'm glad that he just comes out and says it. This has become the interminable debate, the bone of contention that splits left from right in America and in much of the rest of the capitalist world. One's response to it typically depends on which you trust most, or the least, the government or the free market. But the prevailing view, as well as the debate it has spawned, is utterly false. There can be no free market without government. The free market does not exist in the wilds beyond the reach of civilization. Competition in the wild is a contest for survival in which the largest and strongest typically win, or smartest, or most agile. Civilization, by contrast, is defined by rules. Rules create markets. Defined by rules? Rules create markets and governments generate the rules. So even if any of that was true, which I can look up if that's actually the definition of civilization, but even if it was true, it still doesn't say why you should want big government as opposed to the smallest possible, least intervening government that you could possibly have. But let me just look up the definition of civilization. See what we get here. Okay. The stage of human social development and organization that is considered most advanced. Okay. The next one is the process by which a society or place reaches an advanced stage of social development and organization. And then the last one says the society, culture, and way of life of a particular area. So it's not defined by rules. It could potentially be defined by organizing, and I don't have anything against organizing, but what about voluntarism? You should voluntarily pay for what you want, and you should never be forced to pay for anything by threat of going to prison. Circuit breakers, unfettered capitalism check. What do you mean, circuit breakers? Okay. As the 17th century political philosopher Thomas Hobbes put in his book Leviathan, hi Mike, I appreciate the compliment, but we try to keep it really platonic here, so please just don't call me beautiful or gorgeous or sexy, hot, anything like that, and we'll all just hang out and have a good time here. So here's the quote from Thomas Hobbes. Oh, hey Allie, how are you? Hello, welcome to my scope. In nature, there is no place for industry, because the fruit thereof is uncertain, and consequently no culture of the earth, no navigation, nor use of the commodities that may be imported by sea, no commodious building, no instruments of moving and removing things as require much force, no knowledge of the face of the earth, no account of time, no arts, no letters, no society, and which is worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death, and the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Interesting. So, I've been watching, this guy's emo, right? I was kind of thinking the same thing. Anyway, I have been watching this show on Netflix called The 100, and they explore things like this. Anarchy versus like tribes, tribal cultures, and advanced civilizations. And they kind of intermingle between the three, and they have them interact with each other, and it's really, really fascinating. I like it a lot. A market, oh, let me see if I missed any comments, guys, sorry. Hi, Allie. If you want to say what you mean by circuit breakers, I would love to hear more about what you're thinking there. A market, any market, requires that government make and enforce the rules of the game. So we can't defend ourselves. In most modern democracies, such rules emanate from legislatures, administrative agencies, and courts. Government doesn't intrude on the free market, it creates the market. But notice that when it creates the market, it's no longer free. It just creates a market. It doesn't create the free market. The whole point of it being free is it's free from government intervention. Timely government intervention is good. Not saying I agree. That's fine if you do agree. I see Al Canada down here. He's not talking. I don't know if he's paying attention, but I'm pretty sure he's a socialist. He's in Canada, so I'm cool with people who want to disagree, even if you do or don't. I just wish he would be more specific. What specifically does he think should happen? Because he is a liberal. He worked for Bill Clinton. I mean, as far as I could tell, he's definitely a liberal. So he wants big government, and I can't see how people can justify having a large government. You can't stand him? Yes! Have you played a game without rules? Where do you start? But you can have agreed upon voluntary rules. Like people can say, okay, yeah, I want to be part of this group. I want to pay into this situation. And I know it becomes kind of like when is it going to be government? And I agree. But I still think it should be as small as we can possibly maintain. That when they start trying to regulate every single thing that we do and trying to wage war on drugs and just absolutely absurd things and defining pizza as a vegetable, like, we need to eliminate. It's too big. It's out of control. It's growing faster than anything. Have you looked at the debt calculator lately? Where's that money going towards? The government, okay? The government is using that. Where's the money coming from? Thin air. It's being printed out of thin air. We aren't even paying it out of our taxes anymore. We pay all this money, and they still need to print so much more than they get from us. Yes, the government. Oh, you agree? Okay. I think government should provide basic needs. So what would you define that as, Noah? What would be like the most basic things you could think of? Because then I think of, okay, well, when you have laws, hey Amanda, hello. When you have yes, right, a government, you have rules. Even, okay, let's just say the most obvious one. All right, let's just say no murdering. Let's use that one. Clean drinking water. Oh, okay, interesting. See, I don't think we can't pay someone else to take care of us. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves. That's what education should be teaching us. I definitely do not consider myself a liberal. Jay Johnson T, do you consider yourself a liberal? I'm socially liberal. That's a good point, babe. Thank you. I'm financially conservative. Are you supposed to be keeping a pet sloth? You're just wondering? Oh, okay. Hi, Tom. Hello. It is a big water, right? You're more liberal than you used to be. Socially or fiscally? Like government-wise or socially liberal? Yep, socially liberal meaning, hey, Dylan, what's up? Hello, Happy. So socially liberal means like you don't care if somebody wants to be a transgender or gay, if they want to get married. You know, basically like whatever you want to do and think and say, you're free to do all of that. Economic liberalism is conservative. In what way? Do I mind people calling me Tay? No, I don't mind that. Hi, Dina. How are you? Hey. Ooh, I like this. We're talking politics. You don't think that's possible? I don't think so either, but I'd like to hear about it. You're a lot more socially liberal than you used to be, right? Yes. Am I gay? I'm not gay. I'm happily married. Look up neoliberal economics. Oh, dear. Good. How are you? Angel Tay. Yes. Oh, I've already looked up so much stuff. Let me start cutting some of this down here. Okay. Excuse me. Neoliberal economics. It sounds like an overly complicated way of probably saying something very simple. Like everything. Okay. I try to use the most basic, bare bones words that I can. You've never liked talking politics? Well, I'm glad you're sticking in here with me. You made it longer than Shiny did. Oh, it's like a whole Wikipedia about this. There's too much about it. I can't read it right now on Scope. That'd be like the most boring Scope I've ever done. So I guess I'll have to read it later, if I remember. Doesn't a liberal push agendas to change traditional policies? Transgender bathrooms. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I would say, Johnson, in my opinion, they try to get anyone on their side that they can. So anytime they see an opportunity to say, oh, hey, we want to help these people, we're on their side, it's a farce. They're trying to make it seem like they want to help transgenders, but the transgenders have to pay taxes like the rest of us. So when we have to pay for more things, they pay just the same as the rest of us do. So it's really not... it's not like so crystal clear. Sometimes you have to kind of look between the lines and see, what they call it, the Patriot Act, where they could now wiretap any American citizen just for the fun of it, It's patriotic, you guys. Don't you want to be a patriot? It's like, well, maybe not. Vicious, hello! That was so fun to see you. I've never seen you scope before. I was loving that. We paid for Chelsea Manning. I actually don't know who Chelsea Manning is. Is that bad? I'm sorry. Hello, my love. How are you? We're talking politics. I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to have to see. All right. Oh, did we finish talking about rules? No. You're still out? Nice. Oh, but you got your charger, it looks like? Double Speak, right? Double Speak. Yes, that was a good book, 1984 by George Orwell. Maybe I'm socially liberal then. I've never heard the term socially liberal. As a conservative, I don't mind gays, transgender. Exactly. That's basically, it's like, I'm not a Christian, I'm not like anti-homosexuals or anything. See? Now we're homosexuals, me and Vicious. We're in love. Bradley Manning. I don't know who that is either. Eli Manning? Peyton Manning? Okay, anyway. So many Mannings. What were you talking about? Oh, we were talking about in a fake society, okay? No, there's no rules, and then we decide, all right, we all agree, and this is, let's say there's 50, let's say there's 24 of us, okay? 25. Straight to football. There's 25 of us, Giants are terrible. What? Now we're going to talk about that. That's great. So there's no rules. We decide, all right, all 25 of us in this community, we are willing, we want there to be a generally accepted rule that we don't kill each other. All right. But we don't want to have any government or anything like that. We just want to, we all shook on it, all right? We all put our hands in and we said 1, 2, 3, hoorah, or whatever you say, okay? We did that. And then you agree? Good, good. So that, we were like, no murdering, all right? That's pretty clear. So then somebody murders someone, all right? What do we do? What do we do then? How do we handle the situation? I don't know if I have a good answer to this. We can kind of hash it out together here. It's been, watching the show has made me very torn on these things. What's the question again? The question is, if you were in a society, an anarchist society of 23 of us here, and we all agreed that we wanted no murder, but we didn't want to have to pay taxes for a court system, police officers, judges, well, the court system is in with that. Figure it out yourselves. I took all the food and weapons. Now we're going to starve too. All right, so what would we do if someone killed someone in our little group of 25 people? You have to have rules. Lynch mob. Would it work to do like just a straight up like vote on each crime? And if people who didn't vote, what would it be cast as? Non-votes would be cast as not guilty. Okay, so if you don't show up to vote, it's in the benefit of the defendant. And you wouldn't have to show up because obviously we have smartphones now. Like, we don't have to act like we're back in the day. I mean, this could be right now. Hang them. Oh, wait. So then I guess it would be, what if you did it like that? Like a vote? Like, who thinks that we should kill this person? Do we want to kill this person? Do we want to imprison them? Does someone want to volunteer to imprison this person and feed them and clothe them and bathe them and change their bedding and keep them healthy if they decide to try to kill themselves and all these things? Or do we want to just say, oh, it was self-defense? Maybe we could hear their side of it and then just like do like a group vote? What about that? Is that the tyranny of the majority? This is asinine? Wait, why? Witch hunt? Lynch mob? Expel? Hang him? Well, if it's just us 23, then I think we'd only be concerned about survival. Sounds like a survival of the fittest arrangement. What do lions do when a lion messes up? They push them out of the pride. Beyond a shadow of a doubt scenario? Right, that's the thing. It's like, it's pretty much never beyond the shadow of a doubt. You know, what if the person's like, I didn't do it, I swear, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Right, but what is that, Noah? I feel like the majority of people that I meet are pretty non-violent, and they don't necessarily just want to rush off to kill anyone who might have committed a crime, even though they're claiming they didn't commit the crime. There's no evidence. You know what I mean? It's almost like no laws, but like a pervasive jury, you know? I think that's how it should have to be. You have to invoke the people to, as a majority, I know this is very, very direct democracy, and I don't know why people are so against that. I've never been exposed to something like that, like mob mentality. I've never been a part of something like that, so I could be very ignorant. I acknowledge this. What was I going to say? Oh, that you would have to actually get people to turn up and vote yes anytime you wanted to pass new taxes or budget increases or new programs, new policies. You would have to actually get the people behind it rather than like the one senator or whatever. And now obviously you can't do this with 400 million people. I guess you could, but you'd have to get 201 million people to vote in favor of something. It'd be a lot harder to get anything done, basically, unless you made it smaller. So I just can't help but feel like a smaller government is so much more easily changed. It changes better with the times and whatever is going on in that area, and it's more customized for that group in that area and that culture, that climate, and all of that as well. I don't believe humanity has evolved because competition, survival of the fittest, we have become... Okay, you don't think they evolved because of survival of the fittest. We've become civilized due to cooperation. I agree with that, and I think that we could cooperate with each other without forcibly paying someone to rule over us. You need rules to create an outline. But you could have agreed upon rules, right? In the community, could it be like a club? It's like a voluntary. Could you have a voluntary government? That's kind of what we're exploring here. Even though Noah thinks it's asinine, I think it's a good philosophy to discuss. Because how can you say you have a solution if you don't do these what ifs? And it's a lot easier to start with a small group and then scale up from there than it is to try to solve the problems of 400 million people and start there, on scope with 25 random people throughout the world. How do citizens make the government smaller, though? There's so much corruption and side deals going on. As long as money is involved, I don't think we can overthrow it. It's not really a matter of overthrowing it. I think it will defeat itself. We are government to begin with. Is that true, Jay? Is that true? That's an interesting concept. Yes, no, actually, it did not hurt me when I fell from heaven, because I flew down very gracefully. It took me 100 years to fly down. Start local. Yeah, exactly. Like, we just got something in the mail that the local school district wants to increase their budget by, like, $1.4 million. Like, yeah, we're gonna want to be voting no to that, okay? So that's a good way to go out and start affecting change in your local area. The way they have it set up now is if not enough people turn out and say no, it automatically goes through. It should be the opposite, you guys. It should be the opposite of that. You should have to get enough people to vote for government increase, not to just keep it the same. It's not like if you vote no, it goes away. Like, it's, you know what I mean? You would just have to vote to say, okay, we want a prisoner. We want to have a prison. Do you guys all want to pay for this? Maybe you would. Maybe in certain places they'd be like, yeah, we don't want to kill him, and we don't want him to be walking around with the rest of us. We don't want to, like, send him out into the wilderness alone. So, yeah, sure, we can pay 1% tax to, 1%, let's not even call it a tax, 1% contribution to the prison. And then if there wasn't enough money, they would say, yo, prisoner's going to starve or something. We got to do something here. We need people to vote. Or if if you're not going to vote, we're going to have to kill him or something. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be more involved. It's like we can affect so little change right now, it feels like. But I think that would be a lot better if we could actually control things and affect things in a way that makes a lot more sense. Uh-oh, what's happening? I see someone calling something mean. Oh. Can you guys block? There we go. Apathy is a real thing that is easily counted on, unless you have kids at the school. Noah, do you want to know why they wanted the $1.4 million increase? Because they wanted to hire 2 more track and field coaches. That was what it said. 2 more track and field coaches. Now, ask me, did I get anything in the mail asking me if I wanted to volunteer to be one of the new track and field coaches? I live in upstate New York. Track and field season is definitely less than 4 months long. And I'm sure that there's probably some, recent graduate who would like to go back and kind of hang out with their friends and coach the team. Or, an alumni that's been out for a few years who would go teach the team. Either for free or for a lot less than, what are they claiming it's going to cost, $800,000? I mean, what in the heck? You owned a house in Buskirk. Cool. The government gets its powers by consent of the governed. I would agree with that, Jamal. I definitely think that we have to take self-responsibility. We have to act on what we're talking about. We can't just talk about it and then turn a blind eye and do nothing about it. Okay, Johnson, what are you going to say? What would fix things and what might be the only way? The government counts of an ignorant citizenry. Highly civilized societies don't have prisons. What do you mean, Jamal? Like, where is an example of that? The U.S. is the only place in history to have such a sprawling, yes, incarceration system. Exactly. Do you know what happens to guys in prison, you guys? It's the amount of men that get raped in the prison system is outrageous. What's not true? You want direct democracy? I don't know. Do I? I'm exploring the concept right now. a civil war or world war that was on our soil. Nothing else unites people more than war. That's a heck of a salary? Oh yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Ridiculous. Yes. That's not true. Yes, I agree. The U.S. is the only place in history. Oh yeah, okay, I already read that. Alright, I read all the comments. Do you want to go back to the book? I think we explored that a little bit. I mean, how do you know how many men get raped in prison? I guess based on what they report. So you're saying that they lie about being raped? I've done a scope about it before, about the double standard of men and women getting raped, and how we always act like men are rapists, but that women actually also tend to rape, and that men are often the victims of rape. It's something like a 3% difference between how many men and how many women report being raped each year. But we act like it's all these men, and that women need to be protected from being raped, and that men can't be raped, and if they have an erection, they can't be raped, and things like that. So that was a pretty interesting scope, I thought. That was actually, you might have been there, Noah. It was like back in the time you used to hang out in my scopes a little bit. I should tell my yoga class this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that would go. I'd probably just keep this on scope. The rules... Oh, wait. I already read that. Okay, yet the interminable debate over whether the free market is better than government makes it impossible for us to examine who exercises this power, how they benefit from doing so, and whether such rules need to be altered so that more people benefit from them. Well, that's true. Wouldn't you need someone to, like, take the vote? Like, count the vote? I mean, I guess anyone could count it. We could all, like, count. I don't know. Well, yeah, okay, so let's say it's a smartphone app. Boop, you punch in yes or no. Every time they want to pass a law, it would be like everybody was a senator, you know? And you would just, like, at the end of the day, you'd go through your email and you'd be like, yes, no, no. Hopefully you would go, no, 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 no. Okay, sorry, yes, permanently an angel, exactly. A woman can't rape me. Just use a condom, I'm fine. If a girl tried to rape me, I'd laugh. You can't make that puppy work if it don't want to. Are you sure about that? I don't know. I don't know that that's true. Oh my gosh, we've covered a lot. Hey Peter, did I say hi to you yet? Sorry, I'm very distracted by the conversation. We're all over the place. We are all over the place. Alright. And I think this is a good point. I think it is important to talk about the reality. Can you really have it complete anarchy? I don't know that you can. It seems like you're always flirting with potential government starting to brew. I've explored this a lot of times in the past like month or two that I've been exploring this, and I still don't have the answers, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. She will make it work. So what's the difference between polling and voting? Nothing? I wish I could speak like you, but I flub up my words too much and can't take myself serious for too long. Practice, Johnson. Practice makes improvements. I have actually he's not in my Toastmasters, but in kind of our statewide Toastmasters group, there's a guy that has a very, very, very pronounced stutter, a really pronounced speech disorder, or a speech impediment, I should say. And he's won public speaking competitions, and he has a really, really hard time saying what he needs to say. So trust me, it can happen for you. That's perfect, Johnson. I find comedy in everything too. And you've been to Toastmasters. You're awesome. Come on, you got to start broadcasting. Profound. Whoa, wait, a penis. It's a penis, guys. It's a penis. Gotta block it. Hey, that person's been in here a bunch of times. Have I been talking to a penis for like weeks? Okay, anyway, no, it hasn't been weeks. Maybe a week. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, God. The size of government is not unimportant. It was the profile picture. You broadcast here and there with no problem? Oh, okay, I'll follow you. Yep, you have 5 replays. How do I get out of here now? Okay, there. All right. The size of government is not unimportant, but the rules for how the free market functions have far greater impact on an economy and a society. Oh, do you have bra? Thank you, Jen. Do you have bra? Yes, I have bra. I just don't wear them. Okay. Surely it is useful to debate how much government should tax and spend, regulate and subsidize. Yet these issues are at the margin of the economy, while the rules are the economy. It is impossible to have a market system without such rules and without the choices that lie behind them. Okay, I feel like we just came up with something that doesn't require taxes, regulations, subsidies, spending. Storytime kids, yes, exactly. I'm getting really hot. So I don't know if I agree with that. I think I probably don't agree with that, as most of the things on these pages. As the economic historian Karl Polanyi recognized, those who argue for less government are really arguing for a different government, often one that favors them or their patrons. I don't know. I think it would benefit all of us. Cold weather coming tomorrow, you're lying. I have hiccups, you're lying. You're lying. In the free market system, people vote with their dollars. Exactly, exactly. Like, if you want to imprison someone or you want to put them down, basically death penalty, you're going to have to pay for it. If you want to, send them out into the wilderness, which means now you're going to have to set up some type of perimeter and some type of, people to guard the sides, who's going to pay for that? Are they going to just volunteer to do it? Are you going to be on a rotation where you guys can switch? You take the morning shift, you take the night shift. How would we do it? How would we do it? It's so hard to tell unless you're actually given the freedom to try it. Do you guys see my cat out there right now? Kitty! Ah, so many bugs! Crap. Bugs! So many bugs flew in. Thank you. Look it up. Oh yeah, I was going to. Winter is coming. Don't say that. Summer hasn't even gotten here yet. I do trust you, Noah, but I'm going to look it up anyway. Did you get the storm, Noah? Did you see my scope? I got some really, really awesome lightning shots if you guys want to check that out. Skip to the second half of the video, and then the lightning really got really good. It says it's going to be 66 degrees tonight. And tomorrow... You got it too? Yeah, I figured you probably would. No, it says tomorrow's going to be 73. You need to watch my post to replay them. Oh, the past two. Oh, okay, yeah. It's very dangerous to let market values govern such sensitive matters. Is it dangerous? Tomorrow night. 46? Well, the next day it's still going to be 69 and mostly sunny, though. Yeah, and then, the nighttime temperature is 44, 54, 49, 54. But it's still getting to 70 degrees on each of these days, so it's okay. Hey, Sean, how are you? And I got to see your profile picture now. I actually looked at it better. Good one. Good picture. Love it. What is this book about saving capitalism? It is a complete sham. I don't like it at all, but we're going to read it anyway. We gotta present both sides of the story, you guys. It's really hard. I'm barely presenting his because I'm commenting as I go through it, but it's okay. It's just hot now. It's really hot, yeah. Hello there. Deregulation of the financial sector in the United States in the 1980s and 1990s, for example, could more appropriately be described as re-regulation. It did not mean less government, of course. It meant a different set of rules, initially allowing Wall Street to speculate on a wide assortment of risky but lucrative bets and permitting banks to push mortgages onto people who couldn't afford them. When the bubble burst in 2008, the government issued rules to protect the assets of the largest banks, subsidize them so they would not go under, and induce them to acquire weaker banks. At the same time, the government enforced other rules that caused millions of people to lose their homes. These were followed by additional rules intended to prevent the banks from engaging in new rounds of risky behavior, although in the view of many experts, these new rules are inadequate. Do you notice how all these problems were caused by government rules? Do I like Ariana Grande? I do like Ariana Grande. Are you Ariana Grande? Hello, Ariana. Thanks for coming into my scope. I feel real famous. Let's see how many followers you have. Oh, I missed you. Sorry. He's not a good representation of left. Who do you think would be better, Noah? Do you want to recommend a book? That's Alcatraz in the background. Wait, where? This? The Yoga Touch book? How long have I been married for? Almost 3 years, and we've been together about 6. Market values gave us prison stocks and bonds. We trade these in the stock market. Shaking my head, exactly. Oh, your profile picture? Wait, what did I say again? I already forgot. Oh, Alcatraz. Wait, Alcatraz? What is Alcatraz? Has it taught you anything, marriage? Yeah, it's taught me a lot, for sure. I love being married. I love it, love it, love it. Confessions of an Economic Human. Okay, looking it up.